I got an Apple Watch, and it tells me that when I sleep, my heart rate.
Have
An iPhone.
Yeah, get effed. Get effed.
Ha! Joke's on you. I'm not poor anymore.
Yeah. Probably
Surveying
He's
poison
got
ivy.
AIDS.
I got poison ivy
not how
too.
AIDS works.
Welcome back to BakaTaka episode 9. I'm George, joined by my friends Erik.
We don't do episodes
Say hi,
anymore.
Erik!
He messed up.
We don't do episodes anymore. What's up?
But he said episode 9 earlier.
And you
it
don't
is
start. And you
episode
don't
nine,
start
but we
there.
don't
You start over there.
Why do I have to start? I haven't been here for 3 months.
We've only ever done like one episode since you were gone.
Yeah, and I wasn't here. How would I know?
So to your left, we
Okay,
have.
so anyway, we got over on the very end,
That's me, Chase.
and next to him we've got,
Jeff.
and then,
I was already introduced.
shut up, Erik. And I'm George, and this is BakaTaka, not episode 9.
Not episode 9. It's whatever the title is.
So what are we talking about today, Chase?
Killing chaos. I'm here.
So let
one
me get.
thing,
I have to ask
to
because
kill
I never
chaos.
actually saw it. I only saw like the highlights of that.
that's-
Is that
that's
is
it.
that 16 or is that a different game?
No, so
No,
that
okay.
is a isekai
Isekai.
remake of Final Fantasy 1.
Oh, that's
So they took out the Warriors of Light.
No, the Warriors of Light are still there.
They took out the traditional Warriors of Light.
Correct. You have
They
a black
put
dude,
in
you have Black Guy, Lightning Prompto, and Chad Dude.
I was just like I saw like people making fun of it all the time, and I was just like, is this 16? I thought 16 was supposed to be cool.
I heard Chaos left the toilet
So-
seat up.
They already had a
I'm
trailer
here to
for.
kill Chaos.
They had a trailer for 16 with the PS5 release.
Yeah.
Right,
so
right,
that's
with
that's
the
already been out
super
there.
violent-
So when this popped,
Did
everyone
this
was
happen in like Square Enix E3
E3.
thing?
E3.
Okay, I didn't watch any E3 other than Nintendo's.
There wasn't worth much watching.
that's the
but
gist I
this
got.
just showed up out of nowhere, and people were like, "What is this?" And some Chad-looking dude in just like a Chase shirt and
Okay.
corduroys is like, "I'm here to kill chaos."
It's,
Where's chaos?
Yeah,
I
they-
want to kill
Oh,
chaos.
yes!
Yeah, the
okay,
chaos- the
I did
chaos
see that
video.
because I think Donkey did a video or
Yeah,
something,
the
and it was
punching of the chaos
absolutely
over-
Yeah,
ridiculous.
and it's Team Ninja doing
Yeah,
it.
Team Ninja's doing it.
So
it's gonna be like
so,
Ninja
so,
Gaiden.
so it's like this
Yeah.
Devil May Cry looking Ninja Gaiden gameplay.
So it looks like Dark Souls, but they're trying to play it like Devil May Cry in a Final Fantasy universe.
and all your
okay,
character
all
apparently
right.
is saying right now is,
I wanna
wanna
kill chaos.
I have to kill
he
chaos.
says it like 50 times.
I'm
Yeah.
here to
It's
kill chaos. And then when he gets to
Where's
chaos,
chaos?
and then he gets to chaos and he just starts punching.
That was great.
So it's incredible. So
Oh, I
that's,
love that.
That is now the meme. I'm here to kill chaos.
Is like chaos in like the original?
yeah,
one,
he's
or
the bad guy.
He's the big bad
so
guy.
in Final
Okay.
Fantasy 1, you fight the very first boss, who's a Knight of Cornelia, Garland.
But
and then
since
you
this guy knows about Final
So
Fantasy,
since you go, so in the first game you fight Garland. At the end of the game, the final boss is actually Garland sent back in time, corrupted, and his name is Chaos.
Okay.
So in this game, it's the first game again, but Chad knows who he is, so he walks in, he says, "I'm here to kill Chaos."
Gotcha. So he's just like, all right, I know what we're supposed
Yeah.
to do here. Let's get to the goal or
Yeah,
whatever.
pretty much.
That's
But-
okay. That
but-
makes it better.
But
Like,
an isekai.
that,
Which has been
that-
confirmed.
that's-
Because
that's
everyone was like,
perfect.
why is this guy dressed as a normal Chad? And then the creator, Takaguchi, was like, it's an isekai. So he's just sucked in from wherever he was shopping. And he wants to kill chaos.
That's
amazing.
That's like,
But like, where's the hate boner for Chaos from?
right. Because I was like looking at it, I was just like, what are
He
like,
cut in line.
what are
Where's
they trying to do with
chaos?
this?
Give me your badge.
Yeah, give me your badge is chaos. Give it to me.
Yeah, honestly.
Show me the chaos.
He got my order wrong at Starbucks. Where's chaos?
Stupid. Oh my god.
So yeah, that
Nice,
happened.
nice.
I'll probably still play it.
We're all gonna play it.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I won't play it. I'll watch somebody play
I'm
it.
probably not gonna play it or watch it.
Yeah, probably.
I might
Just watch it.
I probably.
I'll watch it when it goes on sale for like $10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Which will
like,
be in
I
like
would
3
play.
months when it gets released.
I told
be
myself
able to,
I'd play 7 remake. I never touched that thing.
Oh, that's alright.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Did you actually get Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Well, it came 3 on PS Plus like a few months ago.
Oh, it did?
As long as you have PS Plus.
I do. I keep paying
You'll
for that.
owe nothing,
I don't know why
and
I
you'll
keep-
be
Well,
happy.
if you didn't add it, then you don't have it.
Yeah, I don't know. I should just stop paying for it, honestly.
Right.
I haven't turned my PS4 on in months.
Mine's in my closet, unplugged, and I'm still paying for PS Plus.
I gave mine to Nathan.
Does he pay for PS Plus?
No.
Smart man.
He bought Final Fantasy VII outright and played it.
Oh, never mind. He's
And
That's
now
what
it's
I
probably
did.
sitting in his closet.
Sorry,
or
never
he
mind.
traded it
He's
in.
an idiot then.
So that's what
Man,
I'm
what a silly goose.
Do we know anyone who actually played Final Fantasy VII Remake? Like, personally know someone?
Eric and I did.
Yeah.
You guys did?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
both did.
Oh, I didn't know you guys-
Well, he platted it. I
I didn't plat it. I was
you
starting.
didn't?
I was starting to work on platting it, and I was like, I don't have the patience to do this.
All you had to do is put it on easy. You can get all the things.
No, you still have to beat the game on hard.
Well, yeah, but
But even on New Game Plus, it's boring.
Have they even announced the next part of it yet?
parts 2 and
Yes.
3 are going to happen.
They are confirmed.
When
Okay.
they will happen.
Oh, it could be.
Technically, isn't Yuffie?
Could be quite an even
Yeah,
going
that was in
type
the
thing,
that
right?
was in the
Somewhat of a
that was
sequel?
that was in the DLC
Yeah.
integrate that came out.
Yeah.
So
They've-
that's kind of a sequel. a little bit,
Well,
yeah.
it's, don't worry about all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Don't worry about
Well, I haven't been playing Final Fantasy. I've been playing something else.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
Oh, yeah,
been
that's
Resident
right.
Evil.
I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil.
Okay, so
Well,
you
8 just came out, so.
so you've played a lot of them now. So shoot from the hip. Which one's your favorite so far?
He's still gonna say
I was going to
6.
say 4.
If you're gonna
No,
say 6,
He's gonna say 6.
He's going to say 4.
Dude,
Everyone says 4.
All right.
No.
All right.
What's wrong with you?
Watch
All right,
this.
listen.
Chase, what's your favorite Resident Evil?
No, wait.
What's your
Don't-
favorite
don't
Resident
go-
Evil?
don't
Resident
go-
Chase, what's your
I don't
favorite
want you guys-
Resident
Okay,
Evil?
Guys,
here's-
you're gonna feel silly.
Here's
Say a
here's
number.
My favorite.
He's going to say Revelations
My
2.
favorite is a toss up between the original Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil Remake. Eric, what's your favorite?
Wait,
Resident Evil?
which Resident Evil remake?
There's only one remake.
Is that the
GameCube
first
remake,
one?
yeah.
That's the
Remake for the GameCube. Remake 2
Not
is the one
Zero,
that came
not
out. No,
Resident
that's
Evil.
Resident Evil 0.
What is Resident Evil 0? I never got
It's-
that.
it's
It's,
like
the,
a
it's the prequel to the
prequel
first
saga.
Resident
Oh,
Evil.
it's a prequel.
Yes.
I thought it was a
You're
remake
Zero.
of the first one.
It's why
Zero.
Zero.
You
Yeah,
run
hence
into the
prequel.
people from Zero in the first game.
Yeah,
In
you
the
play
remake.
as Rebecca Chambers, some convict, and you're on a train and you fight like worms and snakes. And
Interesting.
zombies and
Okay.
stuff.
Did not know that.
It's
All
not.
right.
It's not very good. But
Anyway.
Eric, what's yours?
So I've only played 2 Resident Evils.
Okay.
I've only played Raccoon City and Resident Evil 5 3 times.
Yes. I'm
Yes.
so excited to play Raccoon City.
So those are the only 2
Ready
I've
for it.
played. If we're doing it by played, then Raccoon City's probably my favorite. It's so bad.
Listen.
It's not
Okay.
good.
I
we're
lo-
not done. George.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I've never actually played a Resident Evil game.
Yeah, you have.
I mean, like, I've
Yeah,
played,
you have.
like, with people.
So which one's your favorite?
I've never played
So?
through an entire
So?
Resident Evil. Okay, so
You played one.
fun-wise, having the most time
Yep.
like, playing one,
That's all you need.
I think it was probably most spent on Revelations 2,
Cool.
playing with Chase.
Yeah.
All right,
Just
Chase.
for like an hour and a half. But I've watched a lot of them.
So we
and my
have-
favorite is probably 2 remake.
So we have
I watched
Revelations
the heck out of
2.
No.
We've got Raccoon
I'm saying look, I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
Resident 2
We
remake.
got Remake.
Okay.
Chase, what's
I
your
have-
favorite Resident Evil?
I have 2 for different reasons. One's for fun and one because I think it's the best one. The one I think is the most fun is 6.
All right.
Obviously.
well, that's
Be-
wrong.
No.
Suplex people.
Even
play
I know
on
that.
the
Okay.
6 is like the funnest thing ever.
Okay,
dude.
cool. So which one's the best
Now,
one?
what's your
2
good
remake.
answer?
2 remake is.
Two remakes pretty good.
I think that. So I really wanted to like 3 remake the most. Because
It's different.
That
yeah, but there's
game is
a
very
lot of
different.
good stuff I like about it. Because for starters, I like all the characters and like pretty much all the games, pretty much, because they're all great. But the ending with the railgun or whatever, that I was like, yes, this is perfect or whatever. I like the speed and I love Nemesis in 3.
But he hated Tyrant in 2.
No. So when I went back and played them, I like everything about them now. So
Mr. X.
Tyrant.
It's a Tyrant.
yeah, it's same person.
Tyrant.
Same person.
So you haven't played. You need to play the original 2 on PlayStation. It's incredible. So
Yeah.
So
I actually
Platinum
have it,
Games,
yeah.
the founder, is the one who made Resident Evil 2, the original. That will
Platinum
make cry.
Games?
Yes. So the guy who's the director of Platinum Game Studios, he was with Capcom back in the day, and he made Resident Evil 2.
Hideki Kamiya?
Yes.
Is Resident Evil 2 tank controls
Yes.
the original? Okay, so
Yes.
Yeah.
But it plays.
When did they switch from tank controls? 4?
4.
4 was the first one?
Well,
okay.
4, but it still keeps some of the vestiges of tank controls, like the way you can do a 180 and some.
Oh,
of the
dude.
movement.
Okay.
But for the most part,
4
it's,
is so accessible. It's like it's the first one. It still has like tank controls,
Yeah.
but it's like
But not
you're playing
like
the
it
game
was,
and
right?
it's like stream running.
But,
Okay.
but if you play Remake, they have a control scheme that's normal, not
Yeah,
tank control.
yeah,
So
the
it's
remakes
it's
are
it's a lot more accessible.
modern. Very
I'll
modern.
say I'm halfway through remake 1. I really
incredible.
liked it.
It's incredible.
I will say I feel like I'm missing everything.
Well, that's the point. It's survival horror.
Right, but I'm not sure if I'm going back to it, and if it's like, do I have to remember all this stuff or whatever?
Just play
Okay,
and survive.
Gotcha.
That's the whole point.
Because like, yeah, I'm going through it. I'm just like, this is great, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to backtrack to all this stuff that I can't remember.
Yeah, the point isn't getting all the stuff. It's just survive and keep pushing forward.
Gotcha. Which that's what I got from like 2 and 3 or whatever. But it like I never go out and get like all the extra. I never complete the game fully. So, but I do like that. One's really good.
One's the best.
It's tricky, but at the same time, I still have like 100 rounds of ammo and like 10 health items or whatever in my storage, and I'm like halfway through it.
What difficulty playing on?
Yeah, make it harder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe when it came over to America,
They made it easier.
Japan's easy
Is
our
our normal.
something like that. So if you play on like our harder one, that's supposed to be the traditional difficulty level, which it's still not a super hard game.
It's still the like 4 hits, you die.
But Crimson Heads like spawn way more often on the harder difficulties. They spawn quick.
I was talking to Erik about it because it was just like the what's it called? What was I gonna say? The oh man, what was it?
This
What was
again.
it? I can't remember.
Where's it going?
But I was gonna say something about it. just keep in mind, I was gonna say something about it.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to kill chaos. Resident Evil. What else?
Didn't the Resident Evil Netflix adaptation
It did.
just drop?
Yeah,
I
I just watched the
just-
first episode this
I
morning.
just saw that came out yesterday. Have not watched it. Very interested in watching it. It's finally something on Netflix worth watching, I think. I've loved the Resident Evil movies.
Yeah.
I could watch the heck out of those things.
What was the last good Netflix thing? Was it
The Witcher?
Alice in Borderland?
Oh.
Alice in Borderland was really good. I would highly recommend
Alice in
anyone to
Borderland
watch
was
Alice in
really good.
Borderland.
I watched what was that zombie movie with Dave Bautista?
Yes,
Army of the Dead?
Yeah.
Fun.
It's
Stupid
It's
fun.
pretty stupid fun.
Stupid.
It's
fun.
very different for zombie movies
Yeah.
because
Well,
the zombies are like sentient.
Well, it's
Well, so
that,
the thing is-
Zack Snyder-y kind
It's
of.
Yeah.
very Zack Snyder-y because it was directed by Zack Snyder,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's
But
also
it definitely has. It doesn't feel like the same kind
Well,
of.
so
it was like
the
Left
thing
4
is-
Dead, like
yeah. So
almost.
Zack Snyder, I looked this up recently when I watched the movie. He did a remake of Night of the Dead, The Living
Nice.
Dead.
One
I
of
forget
those.
which
One of
one. It's
those
the one in like
Romero
the hotel, not the hotel, the mall or whatever.
Okay.
Which is a classic George A. Romero zombie movie. So Zack Snyder did that in 2008, I believe, and then he wanted to do a sequel for like ever, and he's like been
Spark
sitting on the
showed up.
script for so long. So this was the spiritual successor that was finally brought out of development hell, bought by Netflix. They let him make the movie, and
It's
that's
dumb
what
fun.
that's what it is, and it's
There's
fun.
there's a
It's
sequel in works.
Stupid. I'm so ready for it, which I don't understand exactly how that's gonna happen.
I don't know if it's. I think it's technically a prequel sequel. The guy who was the vault opener, he's the main character that's also directing the movie too. The German guy, what's his name?
Yeah, I
yeah,
forget his name.
he's
Really?
yeah. From what I've read on the internet, he's the
'Cause I
like,
love his
he's-
character.
He's going to be the main character, and he's the one actually directing the movie too, something like that.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Because he just seemed like kind of a big character in
Yeah.
the movie. But Dave Bautista's great. I mean, just the fact of like how far he's come from like, I think
Harder, I wrestle.
Drax was like the first movie like character he played, right? Guardians of the
I'm
Galaxy.
not sure.
But then
Wrestling is acting.
True. But then he did like Blade Runner 2049 and
was in
Army. Yeah,
Mhm.
he was like
What was he in that?
he was like a replicant. He was one of the
Okay.
He was one of the
I can't remember.
do they call them replicants in Blade Runner?
I think.
It's been a while since I've
Yeah,
watched
I'd
it.
have to
Great
watch it
movie,
again.
but Blade Runner 2049, directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Yep.
Dune's coming out later. It got pushed back again.
To October. Is it going
It's
to come
still
out
it's still the
October?
same month. It got
Okay.
pushed back by like 2 weeks, so it's not that big a deal.
Whatever.
But oh my gosh, I'm so ready for that movie. I really do think that it's like the only series I know of that could rival Lord of the Rings in like scale of like just how epic the story is.
We're talking about Dune?
Yeah.
Dune.
Oh, yeah.
I am so ready for
It's a
it.
different kind of scale.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But like the idea of like how grand Lord of the Rings feels across its trilogy, I think if done right and it gets the correct amount of movies, which I would say is at least 3.
I mean, there's 6 books
Well,
that Herbert originally wrote.
And I have no idea how much
There's
they're gonna try to
6
go into
books,
that
but there's
stuff.
one main book.
Yeah,
the
which
main
is Dune.
which is
Yeah,
what they're
the first
doing.
Dune.
But there's no way they can do all of Dune in just the one movie, and I don't think
That's impossible.
It's
Yeah.
impossible, and I don't think that was the plan either. I think he intends for it to be at least 2, probably 3 movies, as long as it performs well enough to get those other 2 movies and can happen. I think it'll be amazing. I think with 3 movies, it could rival Lord of the Rings in that kind of cinematic masterpiece, like stands the test of time kind of thing.
We'll
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Things aren't cinematic masterpieces now, though, if it's not diverse enough. So just remember that. Yeah,
Don't
see,
do this.
burst your bubble.
Is there like, I mean, what would be like the most recent like thing that, like, you know, it's like a big thing that everybody knows about?
Lord of the Rings.
No, the most recent. I'm talking.
Lord of the
Honestly,
Rings.
probably
Star
Lord of the
Wars.
Rings.
Or you mean like critically acclaimed as
Like,
well?
yeah, new thing to come, like, I guess new movie thing to come out or whatever
I
that
don't
everyone
know
knows
of
about.
anything
I mean,
that
Star Wars and Marvel are yearly releases almost.
probably the closest thing, like since Lord of the Rings and how it stood the test of time and become like such a like, critically acclaimed trilogy where it just holds up really
There's-
well.
I can't really think of anything else.
The only thing that I can think might rival that is the MCU as a whole, and that's just because it's
But even
literally like
yeah,
30 movies or whatever. at
But
this
even
point,
then,
with
they're-
TV
they're not-
shows.
They're just going for the quality.
they're not
quantity,
good
Yeah.
cinema.
yeah.
To take Scorsese.
Well,
They're
exactly.
garbage movies.
Exactly.
Whereas Lord of the Rings is both a good series and good
Yeah.
movies. MCU is just popcorn flicks.
Did you guys watch Black Widow?
I have not seen it yet.
No.
I need
I
to
watched
know.
it yesterday.
Probably won't.
It's
Not good.
it doesn't do anything new, you know. It's not. It's still a Marvel movie, whatever. But I actually thought it was like one of the most entertaining ones.
Eric
out of all.
and I were talking about this briefly coming up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm getting that like Marvel fatigue. Just
I've
from
only
Yeah.
heard negative things.
Yeah,
about the
I've only
movie.
ever heard
Only
negative
Wait,
things,
really?
too.
I
I-
haven't heard anything about it yet.
And then
I-
all this stuff that's been coming out, like, Black Widow's been over sexualized before, and white men are the one writing the characters, and we're trying to break these barriers. I'm like,
Okay, I didn't hear
What
it.
is
It
all
was
this
like I was driving home
nonsense?
from work and my parents were
I-
like, "Hey, we got an extra seat. You want to come see it?" And I was just like,
Go
"Oh,
watch
that's in
Black
20
Widow,
minutes.
sure.
I guess I'm watching it." So I watched it. I thought it was actually like really entertaining. There was a lot of stuff that it did that it felt, it felt more. I wouldn't say genuine, but it felt more.
I have
fine.
Marvel fatigue, so
Yeah.
Who's the bad guy in it? Is it Taskmaster?
Well,
I don't-
He's in it. I don't know. if he's-
Taskmaster's in it.
Okay. I just don't remember. I haven't heard
you know who the
anything
bad
about
guy
it.
is? Thanos.
Technically he's still alive.
Yeah, at that time,
Yeah.
Thanos is the bad guy.
There's
So
the bad guy. Hey,
whatever.
the more you know.
But yeah, I think I mainly like it because there's. I've already
oh,
talked about
capitalism.
This before.
Capitalism's the bad guy.
do hate
White
capitalism.
people are
Oh,
bad guys.
I don't like them.
When people are falling out of the sky and like things are blowing up and falling, I really like that. No matter what it's in.
So the
Whatever.
falling things are the
Like,
bad guy.
like Resident Evil 6.
Resident Evil 6.
Falling down skyscrapers with
Punching
helicopters.
Yeah.
For me with Black Widow, it's like she was already killed off. I don't care too much about the character.
Oh, I didn't care anything about it. But when her sister came in, I was like, all right, she's pretty funny.
But even then, it's just like, what impact is it going to have on the story going forward?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. I still want to see it because I like the Marvel stuff. I don't have Marvel fatigue yet, but I kind of understand that
Robert
sentiment.
Downey Jr.'s got Marvel fatigue.
But
I just say
kinda
if you
getting
just want
there.
something to eat popcorn too, then yeah, watch it.
But it's like, I feel like they're setting up a lot of stuff that I'm going to be interested in, and even if I didn't necessarily care about like 1 or 2 movies, kind of have to watch them
And
to
that's
stay
and,
up.
and
to
that's the
date.
hard part right now with the MCU, because regardless of the quality of the movie, it's become serialized. So if you don't watch even the garbage, you're not gonna know what's
exactly.
happening. And I'm like, that's where Scorsese's like, this is garbage. These aren't movies.
The only
can't-
one that I
you can't
actually
just sit down and
liked
watch
before
them.
this one was Doctor Strange, and I like Spider-Man as a character.
Thor
Yeah,
Ragnarok is
that-
still the greatest thing that's ever been created.
Ragnarok.
But that's
Very
because of
good.
Taika
I-
Waititi, probably.
So you're still gonna see Love and Thunder? Then.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
For me, it's probably Doctor Strange because he's probably my favorite character out of it.
Yeah, I just like the concept of like it didn't feel like a Marvel movie that much, other than when it was actually like talking about like when it would focus on him or whatever. But when things were going on, it didn't feel like a Marvel movie.
I just don't like how they did Dormammu dirty.
Yeah, they did Dormammu real dirty, and hopefully they bring him back.
Like
in
real
truth.
Dormammu.
Yeah, because Dormammu in the movie was just this giant gas cloud that got beat by time.
I mean,
They got
time's
beat by
pretty
time.
powerful.
Oh yeah.
You been watching Loki?
No.
No, I watched the first episode. And
I haven't watched WandaVision.
But you're dead too.
I haven't watched
so,
Falcon and
yeah.
This is a Loki that
Yeah, this is a.
didn't die.
Yet.
I mean, yeah.
That's true. I mean, well, everyone dies. You can say that about anyone.
that. I got sick of hearing Owen Wilson in that dumb trailer.
Yeah.
When he didn't, what you
Owen
talk
Wilson
about?
is
He,
so
I'm,
good in it,
I'm just
though.
waiting for him to go ka-chow, like in the middle of it.
Like I got so tired of hearing that trailer over and over and over, and Owen
Why'd you
Wilson
keep watching the trailer then?
because it just kept playing in ads
Shut up.
What are you watching ads on?
What?
everywhere.
Really? I
haven't
seen
seen
an ad
ads
in like a
in months.
Yeah.
You pay to not see ads. We're
Yeah.
plebeians that want to kill chaos and watch ads. Who put this ad here? Chaos.
Are they gonna kill chaos?
It's all about.
No wonder he wants to kill chaos. Chaos gave him ads.
How much are you charging for YouTube Premium? I'm here to kill chaos.
I'm just waiting for Owen Wilson to be like, my superhero name's Lightning McKing. Ka-chow. And
McQueen?
I'm just waiting for him to be like, you guys ever watch Bottle Rocket? Have you ever seen this movie?
I can't believe you just named on Bottle Rocket, like the least popular Wes Anderson movie.
Right, but that's the first thing he did.
It was the
that
first
was
thing
the
he
first thing
did.
Owen Wilson did too.
Owen Wilson, I think, has been in every single Wes Anderson movie. I think. I could be wrong.
Either
He was
him
in
or
Steve-
Bill Murray is in all of them.
Bill
Yeah.
Murray is.
Regardless
Bill
of
Murray-
which one.
Was
they're-
Bill Murray in Bottle Rocket?
He wasn't in Bottle Rocket, but I'm saying
So he
one
wasn't
of
in
them
all
was
of
in
Never
all
seen
of
Bottle
them.
Rocket.
Well, if Bill Murray wasn't in Bottle Rocket, then it's not Bill Murray.
I'm saying one of them is in all of his movies.
Yeah, and
So
you're
if
also
it-
saying Bill Murray isn't in Bottle Rocket.
Owen Wilson's in Bottle Rocket.
Exactly.
though.
So that sounds like it's Owen Wilson.
Chase is spazzing out.
I broke him.
Owen Wilson's not in everyone.
I don't know what the end game is here.
I don't know either.
There is a new Wes Anderson movie coming out soon.
the French Dispatch?
Is it French Dispatch or French Connect? No, French Connection is a different movie.
Yeah,
French
yeah.
Dispatch.
Yeah.
I don't know when it gets released. Very excited for it.
I think they had like what is it, like movie event showings of
like-
it like early this year.
I've seen every Wes Anderson movie at this point, unless French Dispatch has been released
Right,
already
right.
and I missed it. I feel like France, just as a country, exists for Wes Anderson to make a movie set in it.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like, it's just
we,
gotta do
like
something.
It's just
like,
him.
just think of a mime for a second. Yeah.
France was made for Wes Anderson, not the other way around.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
They
I
all
love Wes-
revolve, just like Chuck Norris's, like the earth revolves around him.
Wes Anderson's probably my favorite director. I mean, I love
if
a
you
lot.
guys haven't figured that out
I
yet, all three of you.
love Wes
Right.
Anderson.
What? All three of us? What?
I haven't figured out that Wes Anderson is his favorite director.
And all three of us.
Wes Anderson approved.
I'd say Tarantino, man. That
Tarantino's got some
guy.
great stuff.
He stands on his own.
What happened to Martin Scorsese?
Martin Scorsese.
Did you watch The
Yeah.
Irishman?
Yeah.
Okay, all the stuff before The Irishman.
I
you
didn't
ever
watch
seen?
The Irishman.
Actually, I take that back. Spielberg's the best. Spielberg, man, he's just making movies.
James
I
Cameron,
love James. I was gonna say
Man,
James
go
Cameron.
drown in a river or something.
or on the Titanic.
Yeah.
I read a fact the other day. Apparently, the Titanic loses 1,000 pounds or 1,000 tons to rust or something like.
Wouldn't surprise me.
No, not 1,000 tons. Like a ton of rust, like a literal ton of rust every single day. I think is what it was.
Wouldn't surprise me.
By like 50 years, it's just gonna literally fall apart
Wow. It's
more than
like-
it already has.
It's like things degrade.
Yeah, it's like really weird. Honestly, I thought the best way to preserve that metal would be underneath the ocean. It just seems like that would hold a ship together.
Well,
right.
if they would have missed that
Pressure
iceberg,
from all sides, you know, it kind of
they would've missed
freezes
that
it in
iceberg.
place.
Yeah. But what a bunch of goofballs.
You know that
Yeah.
iceberg really did it dirty.
Yeah. What was that Titanic was just existing, and that iceberg just like it was just like
No,
hey,
the iceberg was just existing.
No, what are you talking about?
That's the iceberg's
at him.
native
Look
habitat.
Stupid.
Blame shifting the
Stupid.
Titanic.
How
That iceberg's just like body.
How on earth did we get to this?
Well, iceberg was hanging out. That's his home.
That's
her
That's his
home.
home. No, that's not
That's
his home. What are you
Z's
talking
home.
about? Look,
That's
he's-
Z's home.
Z's home. You need Erik to take the side of the ice.
Then the
Yeah,
Titanic
yeah.
rolled up,
I
being
thought
all,
we were
being all
friends.
Coomer
I thought
Zoomer,
we were friends.
rolls into the iceberg.
What are we talking about?
When the early 20th century meets 21st century memes, the Titanic Coomer Zoomer. You saw what Leonardo was drawing on that boat.
I did see
Coomer
what
movie.
it was.
Oh man.
Am I flying, Jack?
We're dead.
Yep.
I guess.
No, stop. Go away. This thing takes forever to load. Stop. I watched what is it? The man,
Black Widow.
no, not that. That's stupid.
Fate
Shut
9.
up. No.
Has anyone watched Fate 9 yet? I haven't watched
Fate
it.
9.
Fate
What's Fate
9?
9?
The new Fast and Furious movie.
Oh, no.
No.
Is it good?
Bad. You just
Did you watch it?
no.
Oh,
I haven't got around to it. I haven't.
good talk. That was great.
Good suggestion.
Great movie review.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
I
looked fun.
The only
They
thing I
bring Han
heard
back.
is they take a car to space.
Oh yes.
Okay, all right. I'm
They have a car in space.
Elon already did that.
So in Fast 10, when are they going to race cars to the moon?
I think that's what they're
Probably
doing
in
in 9.
Fast 10.
I don't know what you're saying.
What are you
When
talking
are they
about?
going to race cars to the moon? See, they only take one to space.
They don't
right?
race cars anymore.
What?
Just
Just shows how far behind I am.
What Fast and Furious are you
Was
watching?
the last one you watched Tokyo Drift?
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
That's when they stopped racing.
Because that's where the timeline ends.
No, that's not true anymore.
What's his face dies, and now he's back in everything.
Spoilers.
So he
Leave
doesn't-
You
Paul
can't
Walker
revive-
I've already
alone.
seen it.
Guess what? Yes, they can. Han's back in Fate 9, baby. That's in the trailer. That's not even a spoiler.
The only one I've seen is Tokyo Drift.
I thought they
so,
killed
like,
him
everything you guys are saying
off
is
screen in 7.
They killed him on screen in Tokyo
They kill him
Drift.
on screen in Tokyo Drift, and then in like 5 or 6 or whatever, they're like, Jason Statham did it. And then in this one, he just walks back in and he's eating snacks. And he's like, "Hey guys, I'm back."
Yeah.
And it's just like we're not supposed to be like, "We saw you die multiple times."
I'm pretty sure like in
They
6 or
rewrote it
7.
twice now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 6 or 7 they was like killed him off screen. It's like they sent a bomb to his house and killed Hans. I'm like, okay.
No, Han died in the crash.
Who's that one guy who keeps
Tokyo
dying?
Drift.
That one guy who keeps dying.
Sean Bean.
Yeah, no, and that one thing.
Boromir.
I don't remember.
It's Boromir.
It's
You're thinking of Boromir.
Boromir
from
keeps
Fellowship of the Ring.
dying.
Over and
Every
over.
time I watch that movie.
Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, you're right.
And Gandalf the Grey, technically.
Gandalf the Great.
True.
But he dies in the second movie.
First movie.
He died.
Second movie.
You
It's
see
shown-
him in the
Yeah.
second one, but he chronologically
So when does he die?
The first movie.
Then why don't you see him die in the first movie?
Technically, we don't know how long he fell for.
He could have been
I've
falling.
been falling for 30 minutes.
That's enough time to get to Mordor, right?
Of course.
They literally get through all of that. He's just been falling this whole time. He literally falls until the moment he shows up in Two Towers. He's just been falling that whole time.
And then he just shows up.
He's just, as soon as he dies, boom, Gandalf the Wall, white.
Gandalf the wallet?
I'm here to save the hobbits.
He just does that and just shows up. Beautiful.
We lost control.
Why don't we just fly the ring to Mordor?
Why did Gandalf show up?
Why is Gandalf?
He was
To kill
bored.
chaos.
He was bored. Gandalf was bored.
That was in The Hobbit. He was bored.
That's true. That's true, man.
And in this one, he was just like, "Hey, some weed smoking hobbit's gonna have a birthday party. Let's check it out." And then, oh, Snikes, the Ring of Power.
Have you? I know Eric has. Have you guys watched 12 Angry Men?
No, I have not. Oh, I want to watch
Eric's
12
already
Angry Men.
told me about this conversation. You've had this classic movie wiener going on right
I
now.
really want to watch 12 Angry Men.
Let me tell
It's
you
fantastic.
something.
It's a
Let me
good
tell you
movie.
something. I watched it. I was like, that's literally the best movie I've ever seen.
you seen
you
Citizen
need
Kane?
to watch better.
Man,
more-
you need to shut your
Have
mouth.
you
and
seen
don't you dis-
Casablanca,
Kane?
Raging Bull.
You can't be making up words like that, Jeff.
Kramer
12
versus
Angry Men.
Kramer. There's tons of-
Nightcrawler.
there's-
Right.
Nightcrawler's great. Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, it's not
What-
like a cinematic masterpiece, but it is amazing.
What more do you need than 12 Angry Men? What
13.
could it have done better?
I want a baker's dozen.
could it have done
I want
better?
13 Angry Men.
Been in color. Been a musical. Been 30
Manga's
minutes
not in
shorter.
color.
They do have color
was
panels.
better.
They got color panels.
Yeah, they
They got color panels.
That's not all in color.
In the next episode of Shonen Jump, we're gonna have a special 2-panel colors cover
12.
The
edition.
cover of the Blu-ray's in color.
Is there a 12 Angry Men manga? Can we have that?
Probably.
I would like
They've
that.
probably
I would
done
like that. Can we
something
get that?
about it.
Can we get that out there?
It's
I
probably,
won't read it.
it's
It
probably a
wouldn't,
version.
work as well as the
What are you
manga.
talking about? Yeah, it wouldn't. It wouldn't work.
It just wouldn't work as
It,
well.
it wouldn't work. It's perfect as it is. You can't do anything to make it.
There's a lot of BS in 12 Angry Men.
Shut up! No, there's not.
Oh yeah, To
No.
Kill a Mockingbird is clearly better too.
I watched that. Haven't seen 12 Angry Men, but you are wrong. To Kill a Mockingbird, not better. It's good. It's very good.
Look at
I
his
was very
pouty lips. He's
surprised
just
by
like,
how good it
"No."
was. Not better.
It's better.
It's not better.
It's better.
It's not better.
It's better.
Why are we all being boomers right now?
Sound of Music is better, and it's a musical.
Never liked
Singing in
Sound
the Rain's better.
Never liked
Okay,
Sound of
you're
Music.
actually right. I like Singing in the Rain better than Sound of Music, and Sound of Music is top tier.
Never liked Sound of Music.
These are all bad.
Sound of Music
Man,
was
shut up.
Sound
What are
of
you
Music-
talking
I'm actually
about? You don't
chased on
like
this
this.
one.
Listen, Sound of Music was done best in the pacifier.
Yeah,
That is a fact.
Okay, that's a millennial thing.
That is a fact. Sound of Music was done best in the
I'm
pacifier.
trying to argue with you, but I can't find a good reason to argue with you.
I am right. I am right.
And mostly because I keep thinking about Vin Diesel.
Yeah, me too. I've like gone through his entire like filmography in my head.
like,
He's just like,
you
you're
the
all-
Pacifier, and I'm like, what else is he
He's like,
in?
you're all acting terrible. Let me take over.
Yeah, I guess. Whatever.
Just
Best movie of all time. The Last Witch Hunter.
last-
Guys, I'm gonna pitch a movie to you. Let's just do my D&D campaign.
Wasn't that
All
Lord
right.
of the Rings?
Did you guys actually watch that?
Yeah.
And
It's
Amazing.
dumb fun.
is it actually?
It's
good?
awful.
It's not very good.
I believe that.
If you took Vin Diesel's D&D campaign, it's that in a movie.
I think Darkest Dungeon's probably better.
Ooh.
I've never seen
Maybe
that.
the best.
What are you talking about? We watched it at
Wait,
your
we
house.
watched it at your house.
Oh, that's a movie?
yes.
Yeah.
I thought Darkest Dungeon was a video game.
Yeah, I thought it was too. That was
No.
not very good video game with their RNG stuff.
I think it's
and
Dark
people like that.
Dungeons.
Yeah, that's Dark.
the
Dungeon.
D&D. The D&D movie.
Oh, the
thing,
chick
the
track?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh.
Best D&D inspired
Yeah,
movie.
that's gross.
It was hilarious.
So bad, definitely worth watching.
I cast magic missile at the
It's
darkness.
bad on
Was that
purpose
it?
though. It's satirical by
Oh,
not
yeah,
being
yeah.
satirical
The-
at all.
the guy-
Does that
who-
make it good?
yes.
The guys who made
makes
it already
it
made like a
knowing.
comedy D&D movies, like three of them. Two.
Oh,
of
did
them.
they do the?
Yeah,
what's
they
it-
did.
What's it called? Shoot, I watched the first one.
I can't remember.
I don't know
they
what they're called.
But
I'll
and then
figure
they
it
did the third one, which was like a trading card game about a trading card game. They're all like very
Yu-Gi-Oh?
geeky.
That's so
stuff.
stupid.
Yeah. Well, it was pretty good because they're just like the winning team gets to decide the lore of the universe.
What's it called? Like Nerd Quest or something? Geek Quest?
Movies
I don't
suck.
know.
No, it's
Movies are awful. There's boobs.
Never let your fan base decide the lore.
True facts.
What about Toho?
well,
They didn't decide the lore.
Yeah.
They just make lore.
Zune just says, yeah, do whatever the heck you want. And they do it. And he's like, whatever.
This is lore.
isn't that decided when happens?
No.
Wait, shouldn't
because
Star
what
Wars
he
have
says,
Isn't he
let the fans
listening
make
to the
lore?
fan base?
he actually doesn't. He just goes to the next game and ignores everything that's been produced.
What about the guy who does Fate? Does anyone?
Oh, NASA?
Nasu?
He's sold out.
Yeah, people are always telling him what to do.
No, he sold out.
He sold out.
Yeah, he sold out hard. It's all gacha crap now.
Yeah, he's
Gacha-
pretty much sold the rights to everything. They're just like, you just do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like,
So
I don't
bring
care.
whoever you want in as long as it gives me money and
'Cause
whatever Coomers you have to.
He's like,
appeal
nah,
to.
Because
Blame
he
the
did
guy
the
for
he
liking
did the
money.
original, and then he
with
sold.
the other guy who did the art, and then he sold off not the rights, but the,
But he gave the idea to Urabachi. He was like, here's an outline, make 0. And then he
it's,
sold.
It's just snowballed from there.
And then he sold it from there.
Genius.
But if you want like true, what's the guy's name again? Nasu. If you want like true Nasu stuff,
Hideo Kojima.
I got it. It's Tsukihime and Fate, and that's it.
Okay, I've
Those are
seen
the only things that are like true.
I've
canon.
seen the Tsukihime anime, and
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
very,
that's
not-
I
that's
understand.
not-
It's similar.
that's
It's basically like watching
Yeah,
Fate Stay
that's
Night anime
nothing.
or
That's,
whatever.
yeah, that's like.
But I
crap
really
one.
enjoyed it. I thought it was great. It was I like
remake should be coming soon.
Yeah, hey.
And by soon I mean like in this decade.
Melty Blood. Hey.
Actors again, Code Cadenza,
Code.
Clear.
Did you last time you said you were playing Code Vein?
Oh jeez.
Did you even actually play that?
I got filtered. I got towards the very so there's just like it's like Dark Souls anime and there's a fight that's like the Dark Souls.
I got it and Eric was watching me play it for like a bit or whatever, like months ago.
It's not very good, but I'm like, you know what? It's
like a year ago.
I'll play it.
Yeah, it was a year. It was over a year.
And I got towards the very end and I started one of the DLCs and I got filtered. I'm like, all right, let me go back to the main game. Then I'm in a spot where I'm in this constant death loop and there's no fireplace for me to go to. I'm like, this is stupid. I got filtered. I'm gonna go play Yakuza. So I just dropped it like in the very end. I'm like, I'm not gonna fight the final boss. I'm done with this dumb game.
That's great.
When I'm playing Resident Evil, it's making me feel like when I'm playing
Stressed out?
No, when I was playing like Metal
playing
Gear. Metal Gear.
Oh yeah, because that's when good games were made.
Oh,
Yeah,
is your
yeah,
controller
it's
still
crazy.
broken?
There's still 3 seconds of lag from your inputs.
Oops.
That was ridiculous.
I don't
can't believe
understand.
You dealt with that.
I didn't. I don't know. I guess I'm retarded or something like that because I kept fighting the final boss
You
with that stupid control
you
scheme.
heard it here first.
I guess
I'm retarded. Yeah, but he gave me that control. I'm like, Chase, let me try this, and I pushed it, and the snake like took a bit to move. I'm like, oh, Chase, no wonder you're dying.
He could not turn and shoot fast enough. It was ridiculous.
But see, when I was watching some of the old like Resident Evil 2 stuff or whatever, like they had lip flaps.
So, remake or the original?
The original one. They had lip flaps.
There's like 19 polygons in the whole game. There can't be lip flaps. Oh yeah, with the mouth opening up.
Yeah, like Metal Gear didn't do that. Metal Gear was like solid mouth closed the whole time.
Kojima didn't want to deal with that.
Yeah, Kojima doesn't do anything he doesn't want to.
He's like, I don't have the budget for this.
Yeah,
the budget for that.
Didn't
Totally.
have
He's
the
just
game
like,
engine for
why
it.
I don't need people to open their mouths. I'm just gonna make a masterpiece.
Why do I need them to move their mouths when they have hands?
Regardless-
Hands are iconic.
Regardless, yeah, that late 1990s era PlayStation games, that's a gold mine.
I'm like playing them. I'm like, these are like
from like
fantastic.
98 to 2004, best video games ever made in that era. Ever.
Like, because I never understood tank controls until I started playing the Resident Evil games. I was just like, oh.
Now you got to go play like Dino Crisis
get it.
and the Clock Tower games, Parasite Evil or
Parasite Eve.
Yeah, you got to play all those. Now.
I will
All the
say,
tank
though,
controls. Onimusha.
Chrono Cross.
I will.
Play Chrono Trigger first.
I will
play
say,
Chrono Cross.
All 13.
Just play Chrono Cross.
endings. Go right to the sequel without playing the.
they just play Chrono Trigger because it has tank controls.
Play
Yes.
play Suikoden and get all 99 stars.
Let me say
Or
this
like
real quick.
100 something.
108. I
Yeah.
think it's 108.
Let me say this real quick. Resident Evil's not scary.
You weren't 7 years old when it came out, and the freaking
None of them are
dog-
scary.
and the freaking
Oh, I'm
dog-
sorry
are
you
scared.
were a baby, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm sorry you get scared at Outlast.
I had
Jeff.
nightmares. So we used to go to
Sorry, you were
Blockbuster
even
all the
making
time.
up-
Eric's gonna defend this now.
So
He's
we-
like, shut up, I've got this.
Loser.
I was
you're
a
scared
coward.
at
I was a
Outlast.
coward before. So we used to go to
Before.
Blockbuster all the time, right?
Before.
Right.
And we go to rent our games. We'd always go to the GameCube section because we had.
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
Resident Evil 0 was always there. And I'd always walk by and I was like, I don't want to look at this. And it legitimately scared me.
Literally
looking
couldn't
at
walk.
the
Yeah.
case.
Couldn't walk past.
And
the
I always
aisle.
thought the Nemesis thing on the cover
Yeah.
was going to drop out of my closet and kill me.
I had pretty much the same thing, but with the Chucky movies. Because I would look and see the Chucky movies
Yeah.
like on display. And I was
I've
just
got
like,
no
scary
desire to
doll.
watch a Child's Play movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Resident Evil was scary when you're younger.
And especially when the zombie phenomenon didn't hit culture yet. So Resident Evil was
That's
one of the first things that
true.
pushed
That's
that.
true.
So when you have zombies in a
Zombies
game,
got so big for a while.
and then in a game where
I feel like they're
it's
coming back a
supposed to
little bit.
be so oppressive, you're just trying to survive, and then it introduces the first like jump scares in video games.
Yeah.
Of course, when you're like 7 or 8, you're like, holy crap! All I know
No,
is Bing Bing
in-
Wahoo Mario.
Is it the first one where the dog jumps through the window at that like one corner and it's fixed camera, so it's like
so all you know is
that was amazing.
Nothing like that
That
happened. And all of a
moment-
sudden, the
I-
dog
like
jumps.
I think
I feel
the-
like you can
the
point at
door
that moment and
scene.
be like, this was actually like just a straight up defining thing
Yeah.
for video games. Like this was the first time that really happened in like something mainstream. That's insane.
I think the one that got me more was the door scene when you open the door and
Oh,
the
the very
dogs come
first
through.
door?
Yeah,
Yes,
and
the
and the
doors.
dogs run through or
Yeah.
after that one. I was just like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that.
Well,
at
no,
all.
the door opens and it's that one zombie and he like churns around or whatever, right? That's the very first.
So
That's when you walk down the hallway
You're-
at the beginning.
oh, you've already started playing remake. So
yeah,
if
I
you-
just beat the shark.
you need to. So after you beat remake, you need to go back and play the original Resident Evil. Evil, because when they made Remake,
different.
they screwed with the player because they're like, hey, all the things you expect to happen don't happen in Remake.
That's one of the things that made the 2 remake so good, because they changed so much that they had to change how those jump scares worked.
Yep.
And they still kept it with that general feeling. Like when Mr. X shows up for the first time, he just lifts that helicopter. That wasn't in the original.
It was not.
It
He did not appear there.
Just
He just
seeing
walked
that
down the
happen,
hall
like
in the
they're
original.
just like compilations of like streamers and whatever, just like experiencing that part for the first time when everyone got the game and just started playing. It was just like people who played the original 2 already,
as I did.
just lost it. They were like, wait, what's going on?
So-
This isn't new.
So now when you play
in
the
the original?
first Resident Evil,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
have the backwards experience of like, all right, I'm expecting this, and you'll get what happened originally.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back and play them.
And it's
But-
a hard. There's no auto aim. You physically have to tank control aim to the zombie's head. It doesn't auto lock onto them.
well, I mean, does
Ouch.
Remake have auto lock?
Yeah. So when
It doesn't feel like it.
When
it
you
feels
go
like
to
you have
aim,
the angle.
it aims to them. You have to angle up and down to shoot on the body, but when you aim, it aims at the zombie. That doesn't exist.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't.
That's gonna be
I feel like it doesn't.
Trust me,
happen,
it does.
But yeah,
It does, but in the
I
original,
believe you.
that
yeah.
doesn't, because when you walk into a hallway, you always, to see if there's a zombie in there, you aim and your character automatically hones on to where they aim at. So that's how you always know if there's a zombie in the area that you're at in the remake, if you didn't know that. That doesn't exist in the first Resident Evil. So when you walk in, just all of a sudden, dogs run at you and you're freaking out.
You
trying
can't do
to
anything.
shoot them, and then you
I
finally
guess.
kill them.
I guess it's probably because of the amount of times that I haven't shot. I just
No
run
wonder,
past.
no wonder you have 100 shots.
Yeah. I just run past everything.
Which isn't a bad strategy. That's
He's a speed runner.
Except when I figured out about what's called burning the bodies or whatever.
Yeah,
and then
you
I
have-
did that in the hallway, and he just like gets up and runs at you or
Yep.
whatever.
So that's.
I was like, whoa!
That's new in remake. So in the original, when you killed a zombie, they were dead.
Yeah.
In remake, they're like, hey, we got to do something different. So when you killed a zombie,
Burn
the
'em.
first time you come back, you didn't know you're supposed to burn them, and all of a sudden they become crimson heads.
Yeah.
That's brand new in
Yeah.
remake.
That's
And-
genius.
Yeah, there's just one because there's some bodies that are just laying around everywhere.
Yeah.
or whatever,
And
stuff,
if you don't
and
burn that crap, they're gonna
you go
revive and
you go to burn one of them, and he gets up and runs at you.
already a crimson head.
That's
And they're
genius.
tough. They are.
Yeah,
They're no
because
joke.
I was like,
They're
Like,
fast.
you're
and
like-
you're like tank controlling around
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. And, yeah. So whatever.
That's
Resident Evil.
awesome. I love that.
oh, man, I'm so excited. I've never like enjoyed like a series this much or whatever, except for when I played Metal Gear last year. That was fun.
But you didn't play all of them.
You gotta play all.
Right, but I attempted to play all of them.
Did you start 3?
I was playing
Then,
two
then
first.
you did.
I was playing two.
You didn't
Did you
attempt
play Phantom
anything.
Pain?
I've played Phantom.
Did you play Peace Walker?
I've played Peace Walker.
Snake Eater on DS,
I've
3DS, whatever.
on DS. Wait.
Guns of the Patriots.
Is that 4?
Acid.
I've played
Acid
4.
2.
Did you play that Penguin game he did?
Just think
no.
about Metal Gear.
I watched Jeff play it though. You played it, right?
It's part of the canon.
I did the YouTube video of it. but
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Good
Really
Penguin
good.
game.
Penguins.
Did you miss the best? Speaking of which, did you see there's going to be a Death Stranding director's cut?
Yeah, I saw that. I have no idea what the point
Because
is.
no one's buying PlayStation 5, so they have to push the system somehow.
Well, they're not selling PlayStation 5s apparently.
Like, well, Death Stranding didn't sell that well. It
Just because
very underperformed according
we
to Sony.
still can't get PS5s, right? Like they're still gone.
As far as I'm,
Yeah.
last time
That's
I checked,
ridiculous.
You can start to get video cards soon because crypto
Yeah.
mining's been banned in China.
So what you have to do to get a PS5 is you have to sign up for
Steal.
the list or
Steal.
whatever, and it's basically like
You know what that
like a
is?
lottery.
You know what
kind
that
of
is?
thing.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
They
Well,
should just sell
doing
systems.
but that is
They can make
something.
more.
That is a reason
Oh,
to
they
get a
can.
PS5. Also, I kind of want to play Deathloop. Deathloop was really
Deathloop
cool.
does look pretty interesting. That is an interesting looking
You seen
game.
that one?
What's that one?
Where it's basically you have to kill like 8 people like around this island or whatever, and if you
no.
die, you restart the game
Oh.
because it's what is it?
Isn't that just the first Mario?
Isn't that just a roguelike?
Yeah, it's a roguelike or whatever. But it's like people will come into your game like in Dark Souls and they'll play as one of the characters and try to kill you.
That sounds like cancer.
Yeah.
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 It's kind
Sounds
of like
like
a
griefing.
Strand type game.
Sounds like it's
What are
gonna
you
die.
talking about? What are you
Sounds like
talking
it's gonna get grief to hell and back, and the player base is gonna be dead in a month.
Yeah, so
It still looks cool.
That's
And-
the worst thing
You don't
that's
have to
happened to
connect
video
online.
games is the Twitch streaming era where people are just like, oh, the games, all this expectation for a game, it releases, we play for 1 month, and then you never hear about it again.
I mean, Big Cat
Yeah,
and I
games
talk,
aren't art anymore.
Big Cat and I talk about all the time. The streaming era has a lot to do with the fact that everything gets
Zoomer
a
humors.
meta.
Yeah.
really fast, and
we
the game
gotta
gets,
min-max this as fast as we can
Yeah.
to beat it and not just have fun.
and then the game gets broken immediately.
Well, yeah, but also because it's streamers, everyone's playing like multiplayer games or whatever.
And they're-
Play
and they're
with
females.
each other,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is like even in multiplayer,
Oh,
games, the
yeah,
meta
yeah,
is
yeah.
found immediately. Like you can't go into a new MMO
but
now
we
and
don't
have.
we don't play those games really. I
Uh,
mean,
Have you ask him about Black Desert Online?
I don't play that anymore.
told you we don't play.
Ask him why he doesn't play it anymore.
No, it's like you're playing playing
Yeah, PUBG.
PUBG.
There's a meta.
PUBG.
There's a meta.
And
Yeah,
we
there's
don't
a- oh,
we,
there's
and
a
we
meta.
don't abide by the meta, and we still win.
Yeah, we just go in. I grab
Except
a
when we-
car, and everyone rides
Except
in.
when we
That's against bots.
yeah.
But there's an actual like defined meta in PUBG.
And when we encounter enough squads that play the meta, we get wiped quick.
Does it have to use bots now? For
Yeah,
people
to
playing?
fill lobbies,
Because
use
people-
bots.
That many people aren't playing.
I mean, there's still a bunch of people playing, but getting like 100 concurrent people at one
Well, it's
time
just-
trying to
they
play
have-
them, it's
Ah,
faster to
gotcha,
queue up
gotcha.
with bots.
They have 4 non-ranked game modes and 1 ranked game mode,
Right.
and they got to fill all of these. So,
I got
So if you don't want players to wait in queue forever to wait for 100 people, it's a lot easier to fill with bots, and whoever shows up in a minute shows
Are the
up.
bots
Aren't
actually
their
good?
Bots,
No, they're
like,
awful.
Their bots are like some of the worst.
They're
aren't
physically
they?
retarded.
Like
they'll just stand there and you're shooting at them.
That's what I don't understand. Like, why don't they make the bots at least like
Do you want to program
purpose?
that?
No,
because you have to pay somebody to program them to actually do something, but it's
That's
easier
hard.
to just give them basic strings of like, hey, go here, pick up this. If you get shot at, go into nearest cover.
Way easier AI doing that.
If your health gets below 50%, bandage.
Yeah.
Just stupid things like that.
That's how you know it's a bot, is if you shoot it and it runs
If
away.
you shoot at it, it literally stops, turns, and goes straight to cover.
Closest cover
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah,
It doesn't know how to blend in with the grass. Or
Yeah,
anything.
it just they're stupid, but
Yeah.
you can also run over them with cars very
Nice.
easily.
Nice.
I mean, I'm just saying there's the defined meta because streamers pick things up,
Oh,
and then
right,
that
right.
meta gets out. Even in single player games.
yeah.
Yeah.
Single player games, you don't have to watch people play them though. if you're
Speed
gonna
runners.
play 'em. Why would you watch someone play it if you're
Because
gonna
you want
play
to beat the
it?
game as fast as you can.
Why are you gonna watch someone play
Why,
if you're gonna play?
why don't you want to play more video games? Just min-max and get it through as
I
fast as
want
you
to play
can.
more video games, but
For
I
some
also want to make a
people-
movie.
I'll speak from personal experience. It's entertaining sometimes to watch somebody play along with you to see their decisions and how they approach the game versus how you do it.
Yeah,
But then you got the people that are like, oh, let me min-max this game to march through it. And it's just like, that's
Yeah.
just not fun.
Because when I was playing Fire Emblem, it was fun to watch people like they picked a different house or they use these characters
and,
they-
everything's RNG.
or they
so-
specialize these characters. They like playing
that
with
game's
magic.
too long for me to watch
It's,
someone else
that's
play
not,
at the same
the
time.
the
I'm
speed
playing.
run is less than an hour for almost all of them.
For free houses.
Yeah. It's less than an hour. Put it on easy mode and just tank with Byleth and you're done.
Yeah,
Right, but you just like
Yeah, skip the cutscenes and everything. Man.
basically you
You
just
don't read.
That's stupid.
You just become-
that's playing a game.
the
sure.
speedrun is like you become a flying unit, go across the map, kill what you need, or just get where you need.
I'm just
Which
thinking
is
about, like,
min-maxing and
speedrunning
really
Eco
boring.
or whatever. It's about watching how people speedrun.
This
Eco
isn't
or
Sakurai would say this isn't how we intended you to play Smash. This isn't how you Smash.
You guys broke our game. Stop making it fun.
But that's
Yeah.
that's the era we live in.
It is
now.
weird how like tedious it's become just to like watch people play games at this point. Like it's just genuinely not like I used to love when AGDQ and like SDDQ would come out.
'cause all the
and it was
trains
like,
took over.
well, no, it's just because it was like interesting to watch people do this, and now it's just so accessible all the time. Like I can like literally just turn Twitch on and watch people do it live. Just
And
I don't care anymore.
And that's the thing. People
just
people who play video games and have fun, and those who stream for views and likes and ringalings and coomers, different
Like,
demographics.
Get
right?
the Zoomers.
I
yeah.
feel like the only people who like are having fun just and like creating content and having fun are like the OG
people you're not watching.
YouTuber Let's Players,
Yeah,
like
people you're not
Jacksepticeye and stuff, because they just play the games by themselves.
Does PewDiePie still have a crappy microphone?
Probably.
I
don't know. I haven't watched
I don't
No, he
believe he
doesn't.
does.
the whole
So you
T
got a
series.
new
As
one.
soon as the whole T series thing was over, it was just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like these guys, they actually just play the games alone, you know, record them, whatever, and then they just dump it on YouTube later.
Because they don't have IRL friends.
And that's like all they have to do. And you know, and they actually just sit down and play the games themselves and they enjoy it. And they
have
don't have to
IRL
interact
friends.
with 1,000 people
Right.
on Twitch.
But now you have all these video gamers that have mental illness that want to come in and play games and min-max it all for their
Yeah.
Coomer fans.
Are you making fun of me?
No.
Are you making?
You definitely don't min-max playing Resident Evil. Trust me.
Dear Lord.
You don't do the walking
he does have
up-
1,000
walking
shots.
up and down steps trick to minimize your time.
Right.
So you're
What-
definitely not.
What is it with that one? Oh no, I'm thinking of like Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge, where they're like, oh yeah, you can dash to the side or whatever, and like literally like just kind of
You're not
jump
constantly
through.
looking
like,
up
yeah,
and down in super
You can
metric
you
save
can
frames.
jump in the air.
Yeah, you can like
Yeah.
do like a special move that like
Yeah.
puts an invisible platform under you for like
Yeah.
1 frame, so you can like
Yeah.
infinite jump and stuff. And
It's
So
just like
the,
oh, yeah,
stupid speed
oh,
run.
but
What's that racing bike game for the GameCube?
racing what?
What?
It's like a
Mario Kart.
No,
F-Zero?
not F-Zero. It's
Would you say racing game?
I mean, but
Cell damage.
there's a racing game on GameCube that was so
Kirby's Air
min-max
Ride.
for basically if you play it on the hardest difficulty, it's near impossible to do. You literally have to be a speedrunner to beat it on the hardest difficulty.
That sounds like F-Zero.
Is
No.
it Ridge Racer? Is it Midnight Club?
About to say we're running out of racing games.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's finding it.
But yeah, that's the era we're in now with video games and streaming, and it's just like it's not fun, you know.
Could be.
I miss being able to
it
just.
could be.
Well, I feel like part of it too is like the most fun I've had playing video games has just been like sitting down and just doing like couch co-op. And that's gone. Like the closest it's ever gotten was when Death Stranding came out and Chase and I just hopped on PS4 chat and we just talked all day playing Death Stranding.
We beat that Christmas morning.
It was amazing. It was so good.
Extreme G.
Stream G.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that. Oh my gosh, that game.
I've never seen
Basically, like to beat some of the bosses, you literally have to ram yourself into the
that. Wait, there's
wall.
bosses in a
Yeah,
Yeah,
racing
you
game?
race against somebody.
Yeah, because
okay.
there's lore and stuff and
Gotcha,
pirates and drugs
gotcha.
and whatnot, but you have to ram yourself into a wall because the damage gives you a speed boost. But you can't take too much damage because you'll just F and die.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Stupid.
So, whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. Well,
Well, that's pretty much our time.
I guess.
I guess. We talked
Yes.
about video games and movies and whatever.
that's all we do.
Who even really cares? We don't watch anime on
I
this anime
care.
podcast.
I care.
I wore my Otakon shirt. We didn't talk about
I
Otakon.
wore a Kiki shirt because I thought we were going to talk about movies.
I wore my
We did. You were right.
I wore my boom sling
Well, I was
Star
so
Wars and
real quick
WWE.
right before we go. While I was down in Florida, I was we did a movie night at a friend's house, and I just threw on Spirited Away. Before these people, so traditional, never seen like any anime at all, and I'm like, Spirited Away, like Ghibli's got to be safe. I'm not worried about like there being anything that like is questionable. That wasn't an issue.
Oh.
But it didn't occur to me that like those Spirited Away is like extremely highly regarded, so far apart from what they're used to. And they were just like, what is going on? What is all of this weird fantasy stuff? Why?
Well, they're
Why
not,
is there
they're
this-
not even into like that kind of stuff.
No idea what was going on.
You
I'm
sh-
like, I should have started with like Castle in the Sky.
Or Grave,
something.
or Grave of the Fireflies.
I would not do that. I haven't even done that yet.
Man.
Have you
But
guys,
that's like the most non-fantasy, most
yeah,
traditional.
have you guys seen Schindler's List? Okay, this is kind of close to this. This is close.
They've probably seen Schindler's List. They probably get
Hey, Spielberg.
But yeah,
bring
they
it
were just-
back.
Yeah.
I was just watching. I'm like, this is great, and they're like, some of them were interesting, and some of them were like, this explains so much about you. Why do you watch this? And I'm like, this is art. What? don't you understand?
it.
You dirty plebeian, do you not appreciate things?
Wrong.
Well, I mean, you have to understand where they're coming from too. They're
Oh
like,
yeah.
Conservative.
They love those Christian movies.
Oh, so
Oh, that
Fireproof,
traditional.
Facing the Giants.
Yeah, they don't get out of that stuff a lot. And I'm like, this is
Yikes.
not
Oh,
great.
so they're not watching like Magic Mike 2.
No, certainly not watching Magic Mike,
Alright.
Magic Mike XXL or whatever.
American
sure?
Pie, American
sure?
Pie 2.
No, I don't think so. That doesn't seem like their ballpark.
They're not watching like
Bible
Scary
Black,
Movie or
Christians,
Oh
right?
God, no.
Okay. That Persona movie you put on your list back in the day.
That did happen.
That's
I deleted that.
I totally forgot about that.
Put that on a different list.
That list. Yeah, we don't watch anime anymore.
Yeah, we don't watch it.
But we're going to Otakon, so
Actually, I was watching. We don't watch anime anymore.
yeah, we don't watch
don't
anime
watch anime.
anymore.
Get in line, Chase. We don't watch anime anymore.
Yeah, we don't watch anime anymore.
Good. Let's keep it that way. We're better people than that.
But yeah, you'll see us all at Otakon. All 3 of you.
Yeah, Chase will probably take a video. We'll probably be forced to wear masks or whatever. It'll suck.
You'll never know who we are.
They'll clearly know who we are.
We'll yell our names a lot.
Have you
like
seen
Pokemon.
Eric's hair and glasses?
Disgusting.
What if I tie up my hair and wear a hat and get contacts?
And sunglasses.
In a month.
Shave your mustache and beard.
I can do that.
Actually, wait. Never mind. You don't need to. The mask.
Eric wearing a
No.
cowboy hat. I like it.
Eric should wear a
No, I'm
cowboy
gonna wear a
hat.
Eric, wear a cowboy hat.
Wear a cowboy
Like a
hat.
10-gallon.
We should all wear a
Cowboy.
hat. We should all
I
wear a
am.
funny hat.
I'm going to wear a mask as a hat.
I don't do hats.
Like a yarmulke.
Oh, a yarmulke.
Yeah.
But like one that's like secure.
Maybe I should get one of those beekeeper hats. Or
What?
whatever.
Guys, we're trying to end the show. Let's stop.
Yeah, just wrap
stop
this up.
All right. This has been BakaTaka. I've been George.
Yes, he has. And I've
I
been
thought we were just going to go down the
Chase.
line. I hate you guys.
Jeff.
This is like
It's Eric.
so obvious. All right. Peace.
Later.
It is. Spoke people don't get to play the whole time.
Next time, play.
Well, you better start playing so we can go
Okay.
to some Mexico.
Are we gonna? You want to do that? You want to do that now? You want to do that now?
You didn't cuss yet.
Swear word bye.
Nope. Not good enough.
Sorry, I already said bye. Thing's already over.
I will.